Please do be seated. As Secretary and Clerk, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony on this lovely autumn day. Graduation ceremonies follow a tradition that began in the 15th century, and that tradition has developed since. Roughly translated, graduation means taking a step. And graduation symbolizes the move of the former student, now called a graduand, into a new role in society as a graduate, there to use the talents developed as a member of this academic society. Each graduand will cross the stage and shake hands with the Vice-Chancellor to symbolize their transition to this new role, and we will applaud them for their success so far and in anticipation of their contribution to society in future. At the end of the ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor will formally admit all those who have crossed the stage, symbolizing that each and every graduate is now incorporated into the community of scholars. As new members of this community, as the academic procession leaves the stage, the new graduates will join the procession, and that will conclude the proceedings. During the ceremony, those graduating with higher degrees will have their hood placed on them by the Vice-Chancellor, to mark that they have attained the very highest levels of academic achievement. It is now time to begin our formal proceedings, and so I hereby declare the ceremony to be in session, and I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ian Martin, to address you. Vice-Chancellor.
Graduands, family, friends, colleagues, as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, it's my very great pleasure to be here today at this Your Graduation ceremony. This is my first year at ARU, and this autumn's graduations are the first that I'm fortunate enough to be part of. Congratulations on reaching this milestone and graduating from your chosen course. Today is a real opportunity not only to take stock and celebrate your achievements to date, but to look forward to the multitude of careers that are going to stretch out in front of each of you. Those careers are going to be wide and varied, but they will be joined by a common theme that will touch on all of you, and that theme is change, and unpredictable change at that. My academic background is medicine, But even before I started my time studying medicine and since, I've had a very active interest in computing and digital technology. My daughters refer to me as a geek or somewhat unkinder. I'm going to use both my professional background and that interest to put in context what I mean. The German philosopher Hegel commented that the only thing we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. He was correct in some aspects, but he was certainly wrong in one. We know from history that we're absolutely lousy at predicting the future. Just a few examples of how wrong we can be. 19th century. The telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. Western Union Memo, 1876. We can laugh at the Americans, but the Brits weren't much better. The Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. Same year, the chief engineer at the post office in Britain. We didn't get any better as we entered the 20th century. Thomas Watson, who ran IBM. 1949. I think there's a world market for maybe 5 computers. You'd think by then we were learning, but we entered the 1970s, and Ken Olsen, who ran DEC, which again at the time was the biggest computing company in the world, there's no reason in the world anyone would want a computer in their home. No reason. But we still didn't get better. A name you'll be familiar with, Bill Gates in 1981. 640K of RAM should be enough for anybody. I could go on, but I've probably made the point. We're not very good at predicting the future. But what does that mean for you as our graduates? I think there are 3 things. Firstly, it is inevitable that by the time you retire, the world you're working in is going to be very different. Secondly, don't try too hard and predict what change is going to come, because you're going to fail. But more importantly, individually and collectively, as graduates, you have a responsibility to help shape that future. How might that future look different? The simple answer is we don't know. But to give you some idea of the scale of change, let's turn the clock back 45 years. Why 45 years? Because for those of you graduating for the first time today, that's how long your career is going to be. And if pensions keep changing the way they are, it may be even longer. So let's turn the clock back to 1970. Cold War was at its peak. I know for many of you that's just history book stuff. The Vietnam War was raging. Richard Nixon was the US president. There were 2 Germanys, and no one could have foreseen them reuniting peacefully little more than 20 years later. The Beatles, you may have heard of them, were just about to split up. Average life expectancy at birth was around 65 to 68 years, now more than a decade older. A gallon of petrol cost around 20 pence. What's a gallon, you may say? And then it wasn't 20 pence, people still talked about 4 shillings. And commercial jet travel was almost unheard of for all but the very rich. The technologies that underpin so much of what we see in the world today, the digital technologies, were incredibly limited. The best IBM computer at the time, the great-great-grandfather of the computer you have sitting on your desk at home, was very expensive, but not very good by modern standards. It was about 200,000 times slower than something you could buy off the shelf in Currys tomorrow. And it was not very well equipped. They started with 8 kilobytes of memory. But what was most striking is the cost. I couldn't find a 1970 price list, but I could find a 1979 price list. Memory cost £75,000 a megabyte, reducing at the end of the year to a mere 50,000. Now that's quite remarkable by modern standards, but put it in context. The iPhone that you have in your pocket now, in 1979 US dollars, would cost 1.6 billion. The challenge for you is to think of a world where a $1 billion technology is sitting in your pocket by the time you retire, and how you can help make that possible. Just as technology's changed, my professional field as medicine has changed, some cases almost beyond recognition. Very few of you will have been in a classroom where there were still children suffering as a consequence of childhood polio, a consequence those who argue against immunisation seem to forget. The chance of surviving childhood cancer has increased year on year for 3 generations, and we have the most incredible technology to diagnose, image, treat and assess would have been unimaginable when I qualified, let alone 45 years ago. Yep, I've talked about technology, but there is a lot more to progress than simply technology-driven change alone. Society has benefited from technology, not simply because of the technology, but because of the way that technology is used. Bertrand Russell, who wrote an essay called Unpopular Essays, he's got to be brave for calling it that, commented, "Change is one thing, progress is another. Change is scientific, progress is ethical. Change is undubitable, whereas progress is a matter of controversy. You all need to recognise that. Technology-driven change becomes real progress only when it is paired with considered thought, policy evaluation, good design, and many, many other aspects of creativity. There is no doubt that we will not fully reap the benefits of technological advances without strength in thought, humanities, creative art. Without great design, most technologies will not deliver their full potential, and without good law and policy, society will not be able to benefit from those advances. What's made this possible? Well, the two parallel strands of education and research in the main, the two things that define a university and this university. They're why the university as a concept is important, and why university education is so important, and why you've worked so hard to be here today. Whatever career you enter, embrace and enjoy change. Challenge, provoke, implement new ideas. Don't be so proud as to not recognise the inevitability of change and how it will evolve over your career. To again return to Bertrand Russell, the demand for certainty is one which is natural to man, but is nevertheless an intellectual vice. To endure uncertainty is difficult, but so are most of the other virtues. At ARU, we're absolutely committed to delivering an outstanding education for our students, carrying out research and innovation whose results transforms lives and communities, and working to support the economic, social and cultural well-being of the communities we serve. We strive to see each of these aspects improve year on year, and this year has been no exception. We had our best ever results in the National Student Survey. The Times, Sunday Times UK rankings placed the educational experience you had amongst the top 20 in the country. And for the first time in our short 24 years as a university, we featured in the prestigious Times Higher Education Global University Rankings, which places this, your university, amongst the top 2 to 5% anywhere in the world. You're a real part of that success, and we thank you for that. Before I close, I have to acknowledge and thank your families, friends, and supporters. They've provided you with support, moral, physical, all too often financial, across your education. On behalf of all of us, thank you for making our students' journey to here today possible. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the staff of the university who've contributed to so many aspects of your courses and your university experience, and our governing board, whose wisdom and guidance has helped shape the university. I wish you well wherever your ARU degree takes you. I hope that you continue a relationship with the university in the coming years. Our success and your success are now inextricably linked. Enjoy the day. Congratulations. We wouldn't be where we are today without you. Thank you.
We now come to the presentation of those receiving awards today to the Vice-Chancellor. And I should explain at this point that each year we have a competition for the loudest applause at one of these ceremonies. Now, last year, and we're still trying to work out how it happened, it was the lawyers. It was the lawyers who ran away with the prize. We've checked the All England law reports, and that is verified. So let's see how you do today. I now call upon Dean of Arts, Law and Social Sciences, Professor Martin Hewitt, to read the names of those who will be presented from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. Professor Hewitt.
Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present to you graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. For the award of Diploma of Higher Education, Legal Studies, Essie Shanawako. For the award of Bachelor of Arts, Legal Studies, Melissa McLean. For the award of Bachelor of Laws, Rizolia Williams. For the award of Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Kazira Oyendamola Aborode. Sadiq Abu Bakr. Kay Ahira. Aishetu Akate. Rhoda Alau. Ibrahim Alase. Amy Alexander. Saleh Amir Ali. Andy Asante. Shamim Amode Bahimia. Karma Banda. Kezia Ann Barrios. Rama Belby. Lovepreet Chadha. Panache Herbert Chikwengo. Tafadzwa Sophie Chimanje. Michelle Chitambo. Mayaba Kasamba Bubala Chiabi. Timothy Paul Colburn. Ibrahim Emmanuel Dan Habu. Lisa Sandra Davis. Neil Sean Egan Ronayne. Nora Garaz. Tanya Radzwa Seni Gawi. Pooja Jivani. Rio Godfrey. Stephen Hagan Bernard. Jade Hampson. Hannah Hussain. Kinam Mabaiman Jeriyai Dagwa Ikoa. Frida Amo Fuome Inebime. Lydia Ivanova. Yasmin Jade Jeffcoat. Irene Jehu Apia. Bashir Mohammed Kazim. Sanele Kubeka. Bethan Francis Livingston. Isabel Lucy MacDonald Parry. Takunda Trevor Madamombe. Musa Mairez Serra. Abigail Cindy Maloney Roberts. Daniel Manful. Plaxides Chiedza Marimo. Amoy Amanda MacLeod. Rahim Mohammed. Mason Samuel Mott Roberts. Dumisani Eric Moyo. Frank and Dougie Mardu. Chuku Abuka Jesse Naam. Justin Nwachi. Stella Amoni. Haran Onderi. Chimichifulam Onweyi. Miebu Opopudu. Leslie Kate Orero. Bethany Jacinta Picton Taylor. Adebimpe Dorcas Adetola Hopula. And also receiving the John Owens Law Prize and both the Mills and Reeve Prizes for Best Third Year LLB Student and the Best Major Project, Gillian Pryor. Shundaya Rai. Nicole Richards. Vongai Abigail Rumuma. Kate Ruston. Ruta Sabalute. Mohammed Moniruz Aman Saddam. Asanya Latoya Samuda. Benjamin Slater. Albert Christopher Sobo. Tamana Tobusum. Mohammed Nasir Uddin. Bello Aliyu Wamako. Samantha Wigley. Artur Jan Wolodkovich. Harry Wright. And for Bachelor of Arts with Honours Drama, Anya Rebecca Gartside. Vice-Chancellor, that partially completes the list of graduates for me to present to you today.
Each year, Anglia Ruskin University makes a number of honorary awards to individuals outstanding in their field of endeavour, who we hope will serve as an inspiration to those of you crossing the platform today. Their stunning achievement should motivate us all by reminding us that we should see our own success to date but as a starting point. They pose the question, shouldn't we too aspire to success like theirs? I now call upon Director of Student Services, Julie Walkling, to read the citation for the award of Doctor of Music honoris causa to Susie Quattro.
Just stand there. You just stand there while I read this. Yeah, never mind. That's kind of fun. Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to read the citation for Susie Quattro for the award of Honorary Doctor of Music. Susie Quattro is an American musician, singer, songwriter, record producer, actress, poet, author, and radio presenter. Having sold over 55 million records worldwide, she's a global rock legend. Born in Detroit, Susie grew up in a musical family, learning classical piano and percussion. From a very early age, she would play with her father's jazz band, the Art Quattro Trio, and her first public performance was playing the bongos with the trio at the age of 8. When she was 14, Susie and her sisters formed the all-girl rock band, the Pleasure Seekers, who went on to record 3 singles. In 1971, Susie moved to England to work with celebrated producer Mickie Most. She first came to the attention of the British public as a support act alongside Thin Lizzy on Slade's first nationwide tour of the UK. Then, in 1972, she released her first single as a solo artist, Rolling Stone, which was a #1 hit in Portugal. And over the next few years, she released a string of hits, including 2 #1s, Can the Can and Delegate Drive. Although Susie enjoyed massive record sales around the world, in her native USA, she was perhaps best known for her role as the bass-playing Leather Tuscadero in the cult TV series Happy Days. In the 1980s, Susie developed her acting career further, featuring in episodes of Minder and Dempsey and Makepeace. In 1986, she appeared as Annie Oakley in the West End stage production of Annie Get Your Gun, and in 1991, she co-wrote the music and lyrics and performed the title role in the show Tallulah Who, receiving wide critical acclaim. In 1986, Susie joined a group of celebrity musicians to record the BBC Children in Need single, Heroes, and in 1987, she was part of the Ferry Age charity single, Let It Be. Her charity work also includes active participation in the Rock Against Cancer campaign. In 1988, she hosted her own chat show, Gas Street, which ran for a year on ITV. Then in 1989, she was one of the first rock and roll acts to visit Russia, where she performed in front of 500,000 people during a 6-week tour. 1999 saw the start of Susie's radio career as she began a series of weekly programmes and special documentaries on BBC Radio 2. In 2006, Susie was nominated for Music Broadcaster of the Year at Sony Music Awards, and she remains a firm favourite with radio audiences as she continues to host insightful and compelling shows. Susie's current radio series, and her most popular to date, is Quattrophonic. Susie is the recipient of the Woman of Valour Award from the organisation Musicians for Equal Opportunities for Women. In 2013, she was inducted into the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame, and later that same year, her career record sales passed the 50 million mark. In 2013, Susie performed in America for the first time in over 30 years, at the Detroit Music Awards, where she received the Distinguished Lifetime Achievement Award. She continues to perform live, playing at over 100 shows worldwide each year. Our university has enjoyed links with Susie for some time, and she's expressed an interest in collaborating with us on a number of projects, specifically our Popular Music undergraduate degree course and our ongoing work in music therapy. As an adopted East Anglian and a globally recognised pioneering talent in a previously male-dominated arena, Susie will be an inspirational role model to our students. We're delighted to welcome Susie Quattro to our Anglia-Ruskin community. Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present Susie Quattro for the award of Doctor of Music honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia-Ruskin University, I confer on you, Susan Quattro, the award of Doctor of Music honoris causa. Our heartiest congratulations. It's real. Yeah, make sure they get their photo opportunity. That's great.
So I'll grab that one, and over to you.
That way.
And this has to come down a bit. I got everything wrong, didn't I, from the time I walked on? That's my whole life, really. First of all, thank you. My gosh, I promised I wasn't going to tear up, but here I am. Wait a sec, sorry. I forgot what I was going to say now. I said, don't worry, it's all in my head. It's all gone out of my head. I left school very, very young, which meant that I didn't even get a high school diploma, which makes it even more amazing that I'm standing here on this stage at Cambridge University getting an honorary Doctor of Music with a cap and a gown. I'm going to be American now. Oh, my God. I had my first musical epiphany at the age of 6 in Detroit when I saw Elvis Presley for the first time on TV, and I said, I'm going to be just like him. Didn't even occur to me that he was a guy and I was a girl. Then 14, I started my all-girl band. We went on the road. And I always knew from day one that I was different. I didn't know how I was different. I just knew I was. Now, the journey to having success is very long. You got pitfalls. You got holdups. You know, you have rejections, nonstop rejections. You can lose your way. You can lose heart. And I always remember sitting in my little hotel room in London, waiting for success to come my way, and I would have an internal argument with myself, and I'd say, okay, so you're different, but maybe you should be a little bit more like that girl singer, or maybe that girl singer, or that girl singer, and I would always come to the same conclusion, and I'd think to myself, you know, if I'm gonna not make it as I am, then I don't wanna make it at all. And it's a good thing that I stuck to my guns, because now, 52 years later, I'm still standing on that stage, playing that bass guitar, wearing the leather jumpsuit, and singing my rock and roll. And you know, thank you. Thank you very much. I have a belief that I've kind of lived by my whole life. I think that we all are born with little individual lights. And our journey in this lifetime is to go inside, find that light, switch it on, and let nobody ever extinguish it. And if I can stand on the stage, here I go again, sorry, and receive this award, your possibilities are endless. I humbly thank you.
Dr. Quattro, thank you. Sounds good. We now continue the presentation of those receiving awards today to the Vice-Chancellor. And once again, I call upon Professor Martin Hewitt to read the names of those who will be presented from the Faculty of Arts, Law, and Social Sciences.
I now continue the presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. For the award of Postgraduate Diploma, Legal Practice, Yasmin Asasa. And also receiving the Hewitt Price Prize, Paul Anthony Herbert. And also receiving the Cambridge and West Suffolk Resolution Prize, Shannon Tompkins. Roger Watson. For the award of Master of Laws, International Business Law, Alexandre Arnaud. Assia Bichet. Lucille Coulon. Tibor Esteve. Ramaya Dora Hanumanthu. Clément Martin. Maud Romeo. Boma Blessing Sokari. For the award of Master of Laws, International Commercial Law, Tuche Ase Assar. Pia Nestor Pinabo. Zafran Butt. Bouquet Erdogan. Omar Ghazwi. Mohammed Aurangzeb Iqbal. Elodie Litteras. Mihail Tanase. Ishmael Khan Tavsan. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, Drama and Film Studies, Kira Unsina. Chiara Botzella. Bolia Gong. Emery Jahu. Benjamin Morel. Mariah Panayi Otopoulou. Leon Stoltz Hunter. Charlotte Wybrew. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Music, Louise Bell. Kriya Monique Beatrice Bent. Lorna May Brooke. Holly Bruce. And also receiving the prize for the best major project in music, Arseny Shiriev. Doigu Dushmez. Elise Yesuvich Gill. James Joseph Meldrum. Rose Norris. Emily Victoria Robshaw. Amanda Jane Shirley. Darren Thomas Carr. Janjin Grace II. Emily Wainwright. And now for an undergraduate prize, the Andy Wilson Bursary awarded to Francesca Whitbread. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Popular Music, Elena Avlonitou. And also receiving the prize for the best major project in popular music, Stephen Barrett. William Calvert. Nathaniel Cook. Vincent French. Timothy Giles. Callan Nash Howard. Maria Konstantinovieta. Leon Lapas. Alex Martin. David Paul O'Neill. William Pears Cooper. Benjamin Mark Squires. Adam Thomas. Llewellyn Van. John Robert Wood. Vice-Chancellor, that partially completes the list of graduands for me to present to you today.
We now come to the presentation of our second honorary degree today, and I call upon Paul Baxter, Director of the Academic Office, to read the citation for the award of Doctor of Arts honoris causa to Wilko Johnson.
This is going to be fun, isn't it? Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to read the citation for Wilko Johnson for the award of Honorary Doctor of Arts. Wilko Johnson is a guitarist, singer, songwriter, actor, icon of the British music scene and treasured East Anglian. Born John Peter Wilkinson in Canvey Island, Wilko attended Westcliff High School for Boys. During his teenage years, he split his time between his academic studies and learning his trade as a guitarist. Diligent in both, Wilko left Essex to study English at the University of Newcastle upon Tyne. After graduating, he spent some time travelling, enjoyed a short spell as an English teacher, and joined Essex Rhythm and Blues group Pig Boy Charlie Band, who soon evolved into Dr. Feelgood. Dr. Feelgood were the vanguard of the British pub rock movement, and Wilko's innovative style and stage presence were the driving force behind the band's early success. He became famous for his distinctive finger technique and a choppy strumming action that Wilko has himself described as the stab. The band's live album, Stupidity, reached #1 in the UK album charts in October 1976, but after artistic differences with his fellow band members, Wilko left Dr. Feelgood in April 1977. He went on to form the Wilko Johnson Band. Then, in 1980, he joined Ian Jury's group, the Blockheads, and after the Blockheads, he reformed the Wilko Johnson Band, touring the UK and international venues for several years. In 2009, Wilko featured in Oil City Confidential, a film documentary by celebrated director Julian Temple, which explored Dr. Feelgood's emergence and success in the 1970s. Wilko's acting career began after he was spotted in Oil City Confidential by the makers of Game of Thrones. The casting director was searching for a sinister looking character to play the role of executioner Sir Ilan Payne, and one look at Wilko's infamous cold-eyed 1,000-yard stare was enough to win him the role. He has since featured in 4 episodes, and he told me earlier he hasn't watched any of them. In early 2013, it emerged that Wilko had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. He announced his farewell tour and recorded his supposed final album, Going Back Home, a collaboration with Roger Daltrey, which reached #3 in the UK charts. However, a physician and fan of Wilko's referred him to Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge, where an oncologist declared his condition operable, although with only a slim chance of success. With little to lose, Wilko agreed to go ahead with the radical procedure. In October 2014, while receiving the Icon Award at the Q Music Awards, Wilko declared that he was cancer-free. In 2015, Wilko featured in another Julian Temple film, The Ecstasy of Wilko Johnson, which explores his experience of diagnosis, Wilko's calm acceptance of his fate, and his remarkable recovery. It is both an uplifting tale of his battle with cancer and a celebration of his life. Wilko continues to perform and occasionally plays an unannounced set at his local pub, the Railway Hotel in Southend. In 2013, the pub's management recognised Wilko's long-term support of the local music scene by replacing their sign with a portrait of Wilko, painted by local artist Jack Melville. Wilko Johnson exemplifies the pioneering creativity, talent, drive and dedication required to achieve success in this most demanding of professions. As an iconic East Anglian, he will be an inspirational role model for all of our students, and of course particularly our students of music. We are delighted to welcome Wilko Johnson to our Anglia Ruskin community. Vice-Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present Wilko Johnson for the award of Doctor of Arts honoris causa.
Just chuck your hands up there, that's great. Brilliant. I'll let them. By the authority vested in me as Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I confer on you, Wilko Johnson, the award of Doctor of Arts honoris causa. Our heartiest congratulations from you all, from us all. Right. I'll grab that one back.
When I look back on a fairly long and fairly eventful life, one thing's memory stands out bright and clear to me, and that was 1967, when I went up to Newcastle University to take my English degree. I remember the first day I got there, standing in the quad and looking across at the library and feeling a kind of ecstasy, thinking I've got 3 years immersed in books, and what a feeling. And in fact, the university lived up to everything I thought it would be. I did pretty well, and I even considered an academic career. In fact, if a fortune teller had come up to me at that time and said, at the age of 69, you will be receiving another degree, I would have believed that, yes, man, I would see myself, a professor of Anglo-Saxon, sunlight slanting through mullioned windows as I expounded the mysteries of Beowulf to my students. And the students, they wouldn't only realise that I was really learned when it came to medieval literature, I would be hip too, because I would have wisdom. Anyway, it didn't quite work out like that. I became a mountebank and followed the rather infantile but pretty enjoyable life of rock and roll right through to middle age and beyond, until I was interrupted by a dose of pancreatic cancer. What can I say about the people in Addenbrooke's hospital in this city? These people, in an 11-hour operation, they took away my pancreas, my spleen, and lots of other bits, but also a tumour the size of a melon that weighed 3¼ kilograms. I saw the surgeon the other night. I was asking, I said, did you pull it out with both hands? He said, well, of course I did. Anyway, thanks to them, here I am. My career is flourishing once again through all this publish. I was playing here the other night, packed out it was, and I've got a golden disc on the wall. I've made the most successful record I've ever done, I think. And now, this honour, which to me is not just an honour, but it's a token of the academic career I never had. And thank you very much.
Dr. Johnson, thank you. We now continue the presentation of those receiving awards today to the Vice-Chancellor, and again I call on Professor Martin Hewitt to return to read the names of remaining students from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences.
The presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Law and Social Sciences. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Creative Music Technology, Ben Allen Kingwell. Jonathan Quick. Helen Sarah Moss. Marco Poskorica. Michael Rhodes. And also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Creative Music Technology, Emma Louise Sugarman. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Drama, and also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Drama, Katie Louisa Belfield-Ivitz. Rebecca Brown. Elizabeth Carroll. Matt Clare. Annalise Dixie. Olivia Rose Ford. Craig Freeston. Pia Grosvenor. Lauren Karstadt. Henry Ronald Lawrence Lay. Owen David McNee. Charles David Marchant Rowe. Catherine Maron. Marin Malokayev Mavrovsky. Gloire Medina Mambote. Andre Pep. Manuela Perillo. Saul Reed. Daisy Rigdon. Hayden Jack Rout. Daniela Thompson. Samantha Victoria Williams. Cara Woods. Shauna Katie Woodward. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Drama and English Literature, Abigail Hitchcock. Charlotte Lena Kessler. Saffron Hannah Matilde McNair. Jessica Morey. Alice Mullinjar. Joanna Louise Ryasi. Bryony Laura Greville Webster. For the award of Bachelor of Arts with Honours Performing Arts, Adetoyasi Adeniyi. Sian Louise Bartlett. Mary Brown. Roshni Chauhan. And also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Performing Arts, Charles Collins. Callum Constant. Bronwyn Cottrell. Hannah Durham. Naomi Kathleen Haller. Claire Marie Holscher. Hannah Lucas. Danisha Patel. For the award of Master of Arts, Drama Therapy, and also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project Drama Therapy, Laura Jane Bastingthwaite. Jennifer Louise Field. Emily Jones. Tanya Carol Newman. Frederick Thomas Harlow Smith. Victoria Townsend. Gemma Lauren Wright. For the award of Master of Arts, Music Therapy, Amanda Ann Dixon. Mary-Tess Nabwal Dunn. Elaine Isabel Grant. Bethany Kirby. Christina Papadopoulou. Anne Brigitte Marie-Claire Sablonnier. Joanne Ruth Sarkany. Karen Louise Sharp. Bethany Steers. And also receiving the prize for the Best Major Project in Music Therapy, Kerry Sarah Daisy Williams. Vice-Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present those who have been awarded higher research degrees. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled A Feasibility Trial of Group Cognitive Analytic Music Therapy in Secure Hospital Settings, and also receiving the Ruskin Medal for Student Research, Stella Jean Compton Dickinson. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled Real Estate Investment Trusts in Europe, Europeanizing Tax Regimes, Wolfgang Speckhahn. Vice-Chancellor, that completes the list of graduates for me to present to you today.
We're now nearing the end of our ceremony, but first I would like to ask Vincent French, one of our wonderful new graduates, to come to the podium to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of those receiving awards today. Vincent.
Cannot feel my legs. Right, Vice-Chancellor, Honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow graduates, it's my pleasure to offer the vote of thanks today on behalf of all students graduating at this ceremony. When asked to speak today, I was advised not to single any particular group or person out. That it is important to remember that there will be graduates from undergraduate, postgraduate courses, maybe some PhD students as well, and also a number of disciplines all sharing the same ceremony. So I will do my best to represent you all, to convey the gratitude that we share to those that have helped us reach this momentous occasion. So, first and foremost, thank you to the senior faculty staff, our lecturers, our tutors. The time and effort you have invested in us will never be forgotten. Had it not been for your tenacity, your brilliance, your openness, our journey here may not have been quite so successful. I'm sure, though, you went through your moments of despair knowing that the library was filled with students working throughout the night before deadlines, but you should know that we feel privileged to have had the opportunity to benefit from your wealth of specialised knowledge and experience, and we will forever be grateful. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank those staff that work behind the scenes. From the patience and the understanding of support staff to librarians who are always there to help us find what we need. From administrators and technicians to the caterers and literally everybody that's supported our university journey over the last few years, we offer you a heartfelt thank you. I do, however, feel that the greatest thanks of the day must go to our guests that are here with us today. Our parents, our guardians, our families and our friends, whether they're all here today or not. It is the support that our friends and family have given us that we've depended on. Whether you're a student who left your parents' home for the first time to come to university, leaving your parents to worry every day if you were eating okay, or maybe if, like me, and you're a little bit older, and you've got a wife and 3 young kids at home, and you're juggling family life alongside a full-time degree, whatever background it is that you personally have come from, it's our family and friends that have been the support that we've depended on to help us through the tough times. For that and so much more, we thank you. Our achievement today is also your achievement. So finally, to the people of the hour, my fellow graduates, I say a most sincere thank you. The sense of community and unity at Anglia Ruskin has been both overwhelming and awe-inspiring. In just 3 short years, I've met such bright and articulate people that I'm sure, like me, many of you will have now made friends for life. So it just leaves me to say that I am proud to be standing here today. I am proud to have graduated from Anglia Ruskin University, and I am proud of each and every one of you. Today, we celebrate our perseverance, our diligence, and our intelligence. So congratulations to us all, and good luck for the next step in your lives. Thank you.
Vincent, thank you. I now call for one final time on the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ian Martin.
And now, will all those who've been presented to me here on stage please stand? As Vice-Chancellor of Anglia Ruskin University, I hereby admit you to the degrees, diplomas and awards for which you've been presented to me today. As a member now of the community of scholars, take all that you have learned in society and uphold the values of freedom of thought and scholarship. Our warmest congratulations to each and every one of you. As each of you have crossed the stage, your friends, family and supporters have honoured your achievement and helped celebrate what is a wonderful day through their applause. To recognise their contribution to your journey today, could you turn around, face them and return the favour?
Once again, congratulations and remain standing.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the ceremony, and I declare the proceedings closed. Will you please now all stand for the academic procession?